Welcome everybody, we're in Bloemfontein and we are live to you from Chevrolet Park, the third Sunfoil One Day International, South Africa versus Sri Lanka. 2-0 it is to South Africa. Let's get it started with the toss and see how this one goes.
We are all set to go for the toss. The match referee, Jeff Crow, is here. Also the two skippers. AB's got the coin. TM will call.
Heads.
What do you got, Jeff?
It is Sri Lanka.
TM, you've won the toss. I guess I know what you're going to do.
I'm going to bat first.
Yeah. And why the choice for that?
I think wicket is really good. I think it's put some runs in the board. We can depend on the bowling attack.
And what sort of total do you think you guys need in this being such an important game?
I think 240, 250 plus, I think, good total for this wicket.
Now, you guys have had some injury problems. We know that throughout the entire summer. I guess the stocks are wearing a little bit thin. Any changes?
Not changes. Same 11 we had last match.
And is this a case today of the senior players having to play a big role?
Yeah, definitely. Myself and Sangha Mahal try to get runs in the board. Then if one of our guys click, I think is good for the team.
And a massive game, this one. This is, if you go down today, that's it?
Yeah, definitely. We are came here 100% here. Everything we had to do today right and win here and go for the next match.
And I know you're looking for some runs, so good luck.
Thank you very much.
Okay. AB, had you won the toss, what would you have done?
Actually, to be honest, I was going to have a bat first, but I'm not too unhappy about it. I've seen the Knights chase down some big totals here before. It's a very good wicket. It's pretty much 50-50 when I looked at the stats, result-wise, so not too unhappy about it.
And how much do you rely on those stats? I mean, everyone looks at them before a game, and is that something that's a big barometer for you?
It's nice to have a look at. It gives you a bit of an idea what's happened in the past. But you just play the conditions on the day. We'll adapt as quick as possible and see what we can do.
And we know you got a couple of changes.
Yeah, Jock Ellis and Hashim Amla taking a break. Elvira Peterson and Colin Ingram coming into the side. Very exciting for the team. That both two are great players. And yeah, hopefully they can get some runs on the board today.
And I guess you're only too aware that if you leave out the number one batsman in one days in the world and one of the best players ever, that's a big hole.
Yeah, it's a big knock, but as like I said before, good talent in the team, in the country actually. So the guys coming through, very promising for us, and hopefully they can play well today, and we can play well as a team today as well.
And if you do that, you'll win your first series as skipper.
Yeah, that'd be great. It'd be great to get that. Get that going. It's a big game for us. It's a high-scoring ground. We'll look to keep the score to a minimum and hopefully get a few early wickets. That should make the job a bit easier.
Okay, good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, so the news from the middle is that Sri Lanka have won the toss and they've elected to bat first.
Yeah, thank you very much to Mike Hazeman. A look at the two teams then to just confirm what has been said by the two captains. And alongside me is Russell Arnold. Hello, Russell. How are you?
I'm good, Pommy. How are you?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, thank you. No change in your team. Happy with that?
Yeah, no reason to. I think that's the best 11 they have here. And, well, they did better in the second one days. And basically, most of the players didn't have a fair go. So it's about getting it together and giving another go is fair enough.
Yeah, confirmation then of that South African side. Colin Ingram and just above him Alviro Peterson. Those are the two gentlemen who will come into the side to replace Jacques Kallis and also Hashim Amla. Otherwise, the rest will look to do as well as they've done in the couple of games gone by.
Here's Morkel. Wishy-washy stroke first up.
De Villiers is attacking from the get-go. 2 slips and a gully. And just the 2 men on the leg side, a mid-on and a fine leg, Lonwaba Tsotsobe. So 7-2 offside field.
Just hasn't really timed that all that well, but it's still racing down towards the boundary edge. Goodness me, how quick is this outfield?
Lovely way to get off the mark for Taranga. Just a little push up the ground. He hasn't quite middled it. It was full enough to drive, but the outfield is in magnificent condition and is very quick. Once it gets past the inner ring of fielders, it runs downhill all the way to the boundary. And that is around the entire ground.
Just angling across the left-hander, sitting next to me on the other side of me, somebody who angled the ball across left-handers for many, many years for South Africa. Welcome to the commentary box yet again, Mackay and Tini.
Good afternoon.
Now, this angling across. You enjoyed bowling at left-handers, didn't you?
Yes, indeed. He has been one of, I think, most important thing I've been successful towards the left-handers. You know.
And bowling at this particular ground, we've just seen a little bit of bounce there from Morné Morkel. Did you find this pitch had much pace in it or not really?
Not at all. This is one of the wicket that I think you need more. I think thinking on it. The hard work is that's where it applies here. You know, the wicket is not going to give you that much, so the length and the line will be so much important.
And are you concerned, Mac, that South Africa are bowling first, or do you think that might actually be quite a good thing at the end of the day?
Not really, yeah. His only worry that I have is I hope every single bowler is not going to think that it can run in and knock them over. You know, they must know that the wicket here in Bloemfontein is not that kind of wicket like they had in Pop. You know, this one is, you need to, the new ball, yes, it will do something, but the moment the new ball gets older, it will be a very, very much hard work.
So it'll be very much restricting rather than looking to get wickets, do you think?
No, they still, they could still, you know, try to challenge them, but not as much. You know, the most important part is that margin of error. You know, that area where you're going to make sure that you need to bowl in the right direction.
Thanks very much, Max. Some thoughts early on. Man who bowled with a new ball often enough. Straight down to fine leg should only be one. It is. Stay in the fielder. No, 6 without loss. Now Lonwaba Sotsobi, who's bowled quite beautifully in this series so far. In total, this is his 26th match. He's taken 46 wickets. Economy rate of 4.5, which is very good indeed. Swung the ball in Paul. Will he do it here? Well, they certainly come back into the right-hander.
That's leg stump. And touch away slightly, that's middle stump.
Three matches, 5 wickets. Economy rate of under 4, average of 12. He's bowled quite beautifully.
He missed out on the Test series, both against Australia and against Sri Lanka. Reason being is Vernon Philander was preferred over him and justified that selection. But South Africa were never going to leave him out the one-day side. He's been very, very successful, and he started well in this series so far. He gets the ball to swing, but it's his height that proves problematic to the batsman because he can get some uncomfortable bounce.
Very good square of the wicket. That's just come back at him and cramped him slightly, but he likes to square cut or square drive, whichever, depending on the length of delivery. Bit like that. Diving Faf du Plessis. It's Dumini who clears up. Plenty of 2s and 3s on this ground. It's a big ground.
It's one of the few grounds in South Africa where 2s and 3s are on offer because of the size of it. Played that well to Dilshan. He's so important to the Sri Lankan batting cause. If he gets off to a good start, it really takes a lot of pressure off the rest of the batting lineup. And they can make headway in trying to get in the region of 280, which would prove to be something tough to chase down for South Africa. When he gets out early, the rest really are batsmen who like to manipulate the ball, take time to get in and accelerate later on in their innings. Taranga, Sangakkara, Jayawardene. He's the one that can get them off to a quick start.
Just a bit too straight. He's bowling. Well, originally he was bowling to a 7-2 field to the left hand. They brought one across for him. And I say a bit too straight. I'm being a little bit finicky here. Really, it's the 4th stump line, the extra stump outside off.
And it can't be easy for a left armer bowling to a right-hander either, especially when you swing the ball back in. You don't want to start off too straight because then you can give away a wide down the leg side. But as soon as you give a little bit of width, batsman like Dilshan, he capitalises. Wide called.
A 74 from the middle of the pitch to the boundaries at each end, and 87 to the side. So compared with East London, where these two teams played last, it's massive. Beautifully bowled. 13 without loss. How can they creep up quickly? Bowled. 3 slips now. A little bit of bounce here for Morkel. South Africa want to make the most of it whilst it's there.
Morne Morkel. A little bit of a milestone for him today. His 50th one-day international. Getting some bounce, being rewarded by AB de Villiers for his performances that have ever been improving. Now 3 slips and a gully.
Beautifully played. Just too much width on offer.
The 7-2 field, Morne Morkel is going to be hesitant to bowl the ball too straight. And he ends up bowling it too wide. Taranga without any hesitation. And he's middled it. Super shot.
So a quick look at the higher scores. Now let's look at the sides that they were achieved against: Zimbabwe, Kenya, Namibia, Australia. That was a huge total. 310 for 6. Australia against South Africa, New Zealand. Then it gets a bit more sensible, I suppose.
It's been the more fluent of the two batsmen. Taranga, Dilshan still struggling with his form.
I like the way that in the interview before we got underway today, he mentioned how disappointed he was and how much it cost the team when he got dismissed for 66 in the last game.
That's always a good characteristic to have, to be hungry and not satisfied with just the half century.
Sharp work. Ingram, short cover.
Graham Smith back at first slip now. Full delivery, was well struck by Taranga. Good reactions by Colin Ingram at short cover.
Number 1 in the world, and when a cricket as a batsman is missing today, as is one of the finest players that's ever graced the game, Jacques Kallis, it's got to make a dent in the South African lineup. He's been entrusted with the number 3 spot today, Ingram. What are your thoughts on that, Kepler? Hashim, I can understand.
I think that Jacques probably, if anyone deserves a break, it probably is Jacques. I think they're going to manage his career in that way to try and get longevity out of him, to try and get him playing as much as he can over a few years to come. So they're not going to play him every match. They're also going to try and bring younger players into key positions, like in this one they've got Colin Ingram coming into bat in that key number 3 position. But I suppose it's inevitable. If you want Jacques Kallis to play for another couple of years, you're going to have to manage his workload. That's a very good stroke. Good placement by Turanga.
Yeah, they need to scatter the odd over with a boundary every now and then. The last couple of overs, you'll remember, were nice and tight. Hard into the square. It's been very warm in this part of the world over the last little while, so that's going to bounce pretty high and disappear, scoot away quickly. Yeah, I think that's the bottom line about Jacques Kallis. You want him to play, you've got to manage it. It's a very busy time coming up. There's no doubt about that, with a tour to New Zealand, which isn't going to be easy. England, of course.
And he'll go to the IPL, there's no doubt. And he plays a lot in the IPL, Jacques Kallis. So those are all things that one has to consider if you want him fully fit for England and then Australia later on in the year.
I can hear a lot of people saying, oh no, should he be playing in the IPL? My answer to that is yes. I have a strong view about that. I think that the players need to play in the IPL, and I think it's been a big boost for their careers. I think Jacques Kallis has been re-energised himself by some of those outings for a couple of years. I say good luck to him. Kepler.
It's a good opportunity, certainly, and it's launched a few careers for younger players as well. And you're always going to have the debate, club versus country, so which is the more important? How are you going to manage it? Is there enough of a window of opportunity for players to get a rest in between the international series? There is a window created for the IPL, so that debate is going to rage on.
I must admit, that one's going to be bowled again. I'd love to see an international window for the IPL. I'd like to see it maybe reduced by a little bit, so it's a little bit more compact, so that everyone can manage their workload around a specific time. It's not easy. You've got a lot of travelling to do as well, so it is quite frenetic. But financially, it's very worth it. And as you said, Kepler, it has launched some careers and certainly assisted some as well. But that doesn't hide the fact that it is a busy schedule coming up for South Africa. And Kallis is going to be key. It's good connection. They're going to look to come back for 2. They'll do that quite easily now. It's a reasonably big ground here in Bloemfontein. End result is that's a better one for Sri Lanka. 7 from it. 10 overs gone. 41 for none. JP Duminy was introduced at over number 12 in the last game.
It's got a lot to do with the surface, the fact that JP Duminy bowls so early on. That happened in East London as well, when South Africa saw straight away that the surface was very slow. There also wasn't a lot of bounce in it. This one as well is a good batting surface, but on the slow side also.
Can't copy.
As an edge.
Definite edge. We'd have to have a look at the deflection to see how difficult this was. Dulshan having a bit of luck. Big deflection, so a tough chance. Maybe de Villiers probably will be a little bit disappointed, but very difficult. The deflection was a big one.
We need to just keep a close look at any purchase on the surface. I spoke to the groundsman, the head groundsman, Nico Pretorius, who used to be quite a handy fast bowler here in his heyday. He said that he had to water this track yesterday and also the day before, just a bit of a sprinkling. He was concerned it might just be a little bit too dry. So that will just bind it together a little bit and provide a little bit of life.
Oh, what's that?
And I'm expecting this to turn, which might play into the Sri Lankans' hands if they get past that 240 mark.
Well, there's a look at it. Very dry, no grass whatsoever.
That's a good hit. Straight back over the bowler's head, and that's gone straight into the side screen for 6.
That's excellent batting by Turanga. Good use of the feet.
Nowhere near that one.
Kept his head over the ball. He got his weight. Transfer spot on. Didn't lean back at all, and the timing was just about 100% right. Straight over the bowler's head. So that is a good, safe, constructive attacking shot.
Oh yes, JP.
Completely different dimensions.
Awesome bowling, fella.
at Chevrolet Park in Bloemfontein compared to the first two grounds. Certainly a lot longer. We were talking about just over 60 metres in Paarl. It's gone again. Another good solid blow. That's the second one of the over. Beautifully played. Brings up the 50 stand as well.
More like it from Sri Lanka. That's the way they like to play in one-day cricket. So two very good strikes by Baltaranga. A good opening partnership this as well. He's been the senior partner. He's done the scoring.
So they've decided they're not going to allow spin to dictate proceedings, as JP Duminy did when he first came into the attack in the last game.
Oh, JP.
Good stuff from Sri Lanka. 13 from that over. 54 for none now.
Single onto the onside brings up 50 for Upul Taranga. Second in consecutive games. It's his 22nd in one-day internationals, and he has 1200s to go with it. Often provides a good start for Sri Lanka. He spoke at the start of the game at his disappointment at getting out, having got to 68 in the previous game, so he'll be looking to make sure that this start carries him perhaps to 100 number 13. A little walk down the pitch, nudge onto the offside.
Yeah, it was a little walk down the wicket, wasn't it? And I think that shows in some ways, ended up being a slow ball for Morkel. It shows in some ways the sort of mindset he's in. You tell me Dilshan would have gone over the top there in any sort of form. Walking down the wicket, he gets a full delivery. He's not expected to just nudge that in on the offside and run one.
Yeah, too true. Good partnership, this record for the summer for Sri Lanka. For that first wicket. 72 now. Just the one, down to fine leg. I'm trying to make my mind up on the pitch here, Craig, and I was listening to Robin Jackman and Butta Dipana, who were talking about the surface, and Butta Dipana saying that it plays slower than it looks generally. And so scores of about 240, 250 are decent scores there. Shot, well played. It was misdirected by Morne Morkelos on the pads, and Taranga able to just leg glance it for four.
Yeah, disappointing bowling by Morne Morkel here, because the fine leg had just come up to give the extra field on the boundary. Square of the wicket on the onside. And Taranga's a good enough player just to leg glance it, not too much bat on it, and runs away fine down the hill for four.
The fact that there are two balls used, one at each end, I think it helps the batting side on a surface that would otherwise be much slower with one ball used. So perhaps we'll be breaching that 250. 77 without loss. Peterson and Ingram are the two men who come into the side. He's gone for a big shot as Tilakaratne Dilshan, and he's got enough of that and to get it across the boundary for four. His first boundary in the 18th over.
It's almost his first really attacking shot in his innings. Tilakaratne Dilshan got himself across towards off stump, was always eyeing the mid-wicket boundary. pulled it across. Certainly not out the middle of the bat, but it's a quick outfield here. It's almost like it runs downhill towards as it gets closer to the boundary. So the fielder at mid-wicket, who's Dale Steyn, had no chance of pulling that in.
This time on the offside, man sweeping on the fence. Graham Smith gets it back in. Tilakaratne Dilshan might just have decided that it's time for him to cut loose. Maybe feeling that in this power play they need to make hay. Run rate really good, it's just above 5. And if you can heap more pressure on South Africa, then they will certainly have the upper hand. There's the Dill scoop. He's got it to go very fine, and it's gone for 4. Superb stuff from the Sri Lankan captain.
It's as if he's got a feeling that he's into some sort of form now, seeing the ball better, hitting the middle of the bat more often. 4 over mid-wicket, 2 through the covers, and then the premeditated Dill scoop. Fine of and over the short fine leg for 4. Morkel under pressure, 10 off the over so far, only halfway through.
Oopsie, misfield.
Faf du Plessis sets himself very high standards. He'll be disappointed with that. He wasn't going to take a run if he got it in his hands, so he'll be disappointed. Good comeback by Morkel. For 11 off the first 4 balls. Bit of rhythm, bit of pace, and just a little bit of way movement. Beautifully bowled.
Eleven off that one. Good work by Sri Lanka. 93 without loss.
Up in the air, this will be out. Oh dear. That wasn't my fault, surely. Top edge. Excellent innings from Taranga comes to an end.
I couldn't even get a word in. I was just going to say how well he had played. But the option was on, because there were 2 men in the circle, no one in the deep. But the length was not right. It bounced a little bit more and caught the top edge. It's not one of the better sweepers, but he's played a brilliant knock. 58 to him, 1 down for 94.
And Dumini into the attack.
Come on, Zipes.
Another top edge, and Steyn takes the catch. But Dilshan does go fairly soon after his opening partner.
Dumini brought in for his second spell. He's battled hard, Tilakaratne Dilshan, but needed to bat for a while longer to give Sangakkara that opportunity to bat for a while or play himself in. Didn't pick his spot because the ball was outside leg stump. But once again, top fielding, Dale Steyn having to sprint in. He's just finished an over and gone down there, but he's kept his eye on the ball. So Sri Lanka losing their weight. Dilshan, 33 of 49, 2 for 102.
It's beautifully timed. Goodness me, what a good shot that was. Initially I thought it was just 1 down to fine leg, but he's hit it squarer and it's raced to the boundary.
He was hit in the air, used to stay in space. But of course, AB de Villiers opting to go with the slip and the gully, so there's no one in that area. But nice to watch. He did race away.
A man back there now. Morkel. Me a couple. It's quite a dry looking surface, but it's hard. And albeit, Russell, that there are lots of little sort of cracks in it that you can see there. I don't know that they're going to play a part in 100 overs.
I wouldn't have thought so too, but I'd like to believe Buttadipana, because what he says would definitely suit Sri Lanka's strength. A few runs leaking, which will make the batsman feel more comfortable.
Sweet shot, sweet timing. Sortobi won't catch that up. 4 more.
Well, Dale Steyn paying the price. He went too tight to Sangakkara, got picked off on the body. The moment he gets set, you'll see plenty of shots like this. Right underneath the eyes from Kumar Sangakkara. This is what a good start can do. Calm the nerves and allow batsmen like Sangakkara just to focus on his own game. And also, Jack, is another reason why I want 260-270s. Sri Lanka low in confidence. They're in a shell. They are a good team. They got players who can make a difference. But in a shell. And they need to go out to the field feeling bubbly, with everything going their way. The moment that confidence comes in, I think they'll play better cricket.
I think you should have been calling me Pommy. Good shot. 4 more. We'll put that right in a moment. 119 for 2.
Catch!
It's nicely struck. It's going to go for 4. That's a very good shot indeed. Tsotsovi just a little bit slow to the blocks maybe, but punished. Second ball of the over.
Well, the South Africans have got Colin Ingram up in the ring at mid-on, and Tsotsobe very, very straight on the boundary for a mid-wicket. He started off too late. There was a screech from the bowler and the wicket-keeper to tell him to make an effort, but I'm not sure it would have helped.
It's actually quite a strange fielding position, the fact that he is so straight at mid-wicket. I'm not sure that AB's got that one right. And mid-on, who was in a standard position, was fairly straight himself, saving 1. These are the little things that we need to watch very closely, because that, I guess, normally would have been 1. It wasn't. It was a boundary, but more important, momentum. 6 off the over now, 3 balls into the 26. Robin Peterson just getting involved a bit and just inquiring Morne Morkel's a little square, a deep backward square.
Oh yes, Robbie P.
There's been a couple of things where AB de Villiers will be, I suppose, questioned about. The bowling changes, is that there's been so many. Every Dale Steyn getting 2 over spells at present.
Oh yeah, boy.
We see it often in the T20 version of the game. Bowlers bowling just these 2 over spells, but they only have to bowl 4 overs in total. But he did say that he's going to stamp his own brand on his captaincy. And he's doing just that. 136 for 2.
So this is a look at the higher scores to win. And we mentioned before the top 3 were against sides that weren't playing, I guess, at some of the other standards we've seen with the rest of them, Australia, South Africa, etc. It's well worked again.
Souterveld. Stand up, please. Slightly away. Little bit, Biffy, little bit. Fine, that's good, Come on, Bino.
Good shot, solid shot, and that's gone for half a dozen. That's beautifully played. Again, a big boundary early in the over.
It's all about the foot movement from Kumar Sangakkara. Peterson coming around the wicket. If it doesn't turn, it goes across the left-hander. He could get himself out stumped if he doesn't move well enough. He gets himself into a perfect position. He's middled that. He's hit it a long way.
Certainly going to get the skipper thinking a bit now. Looks like he's on the attack of it, Sangakkara, which is the way that he likes to play. Strike rate of 113.
Yeah, Robin, awesome comeback, fella. Where, Robbie? Start staan, Robba. Down. Good, Ben.
Brings up the 150 now. Partnership on 48 from just 45 deliveries.
Oh, yes.
Well, now an even more interesting field for Peterson. A man catching just on the leg side, quite straight. A mid-on, and then a very... oh, he's a long on.
Oh!
That's a pretty good comeback from Peterson. 150 for 2.
Lonwabo Tsorbe back into the attack from the Willows end.
Pretty tight. First 5 overs, he wasn't swinging the ball because he was holding across the seam initially, which caused some comment because he swung the ball so well. Direct hit is out. Wow, that is brilliant. That is absolutely brilliant. Not for the first time we've seen Francois du Plessis do something really special. A.B. de Villiers said just yesterday he may well be the best fielder in the world at the moment.
Well, if anybody thought that A.B. de Villiers was going to be missed at backward point, think again. Chandamal thought he had one, but not to du Plessis. Quick as a flash, back on his feet. 1 or 2 stumps to aim at. He knocks them over, and it's a big wicket. De Villiers is thrilled. Sangakkara is gone for 38. Sri Lanka 154 for 3.
Let's crunch that. It is going to go for 4. That's a good shot indeed.
Well, A.B. de Villiers is choosing to continue to try and put pressure on the Sri Lankan batsman by having fielders up. Mid-on is up. Tsorbe runs his fingers down the ball, takes all the pace off it, but it's right into the hitting area. Chandamal goes over the top, finds a boundary.
Just wide of a diving Francois this time. Decides to come back for the second. That's good running. Good aggressive stuff.
Yeah, I actually quite like that de Villiers has 5 in the ring. So often we see during these middle overs, captains are happy to just have the 4 in the ring and they go into a complete defensive mode, which leads batsmen to just knock the ball for ones and go at 5 and 6s, and there's not much pressure ever put on them. If batsmen are happy to take a chance, they can get boundaries in this period if de Villiers continues in this vein, but he also gives himself an opportunity to take wickets.
I wonder what figure he's got in his mind at the moment, A.B. de Villiers.
Well, I think he would have been hoping to keep Sri Lanka under something around about 270 while Sangakkara was in. Now that he's dismissed Sangakkara through some wonderful fielding from Faf du Plessis, he will think if they can just nip one more out here, they can expose what could be considered a longish tail. There are men that can bat, but can they put on substantial partnerships? Matthews can play. Kulasekara untested, really.
Nuwan Kulasekara gave us some tap in the last game. Squeezing square again. But again, it's a good over for the visitors. 8 runs from that, 170 for 3.
1 for 26 for JP Duminy. And Peterson with the other wicket. And also the run out of Sangakkara. Just 3 down, Sri Lanka. It's a really good platform set. 5.15 the run rate, and they'll be looking to go on the charge in the last part of their innings.
Yeah, they will be forced to take the batting power play at the end of this over. So it's going to be very important how they do the job in that period. You don't want to lose wickets, but you still want to score at least 40 runs. So you're looking at 220 in 40 overs.
Yes, Robin.
And with set batsmen, we're looking at a score close to 300.
Up in the air, is looking to just clear cover. Oh dear, it's gone down. That is a big opportunity missed. Such an important wicket that would have been for South Africa. Mahela Jayawardene just setting himself.
He likes that shot. He likes to go over the top of short extra cover, but hit it a little too straight. He had all the time in the world, Albie. Could have got underneath that one and waited for it.
Dale Steyn back into the attack. Sri Lanka, instead of putting foot to the pedal, it's a case of trying to establish the partnership. Angelo Matthews would walk in, perhaps they would have sent in Kulasekara to have a good go at it, but it would be a new batsman and South Africa would feel that they've got a door open.
Yeah, but always it's the batsman who can do the most damage. If Jayawardene, so important, because if he sticks till the end, it'll be close to 300 or maybe even more. The damage he can do when he's set, it's amazing.
The hope then by South Africa, by Albie Morkel particularly, was that it wouldn't be too costly, that drop. Nicely played. Just 1 run down to the 3rd man. Little nudge. They went a long way up in the air. And Albie Morkel didn't set off straight away. He looked up first and then seemed, with the way he was running, that he had it all under control. And then he just didn't get there. He didn't get there enough. Had to end up diving. You see the reactions there. They say everything. Gotta hurry, and oopsie. That's Jayawardene again, who escapes.
He's not happy because again there was a call of yes, and then Chandimal stopped. A direct hit would have had him, and very close to. They're just having a chat to each other now, the batsmen, just to calm things down. Give me an early call, that's what Jayawardene wants.
It'll be very important how Sri Lanka navigate their way through this power play as well, despite this partnership being worth 28 from 37. This time clear with the call. Relatively more comfortable that time.
Yeah, you got to call early. If you're going to the danger end, you go straight away.
Did I say comfortable? erase that.
Unexpected from AB.
He's quick. The call's relatively early, but he sets off AB de Villiers. Look at that. That's nifty work.
But that delivery surprised him. He was shaping to play the pull shot.
Oh, fantastic work. Colin Ingram is the man. He picks the ball up and shies at the non-striker's end. And South Africa reckon they've got their man.
Yeah, he knows it. Jayawardena quietly making his way off the ground. But he got an early no from Chandimal. Just couldn't turn and get back quickly enough. 2 run-outs. The 2 big fish run out and Chandimal still there. He should have gone earlier. Couldn't make it count, Mahela Jayawardena. His troubles continue. 15 to him. Sri Lanka now 4 for 183.
Good hit. It made a great sound off the bat. Chandimal gets 4 more.
We're talking about pressure. What pressure? The youngster shows that he's got the skills to take it on.
Look at that Sri Lankan worm, the progressive run rate. Not going in the way that Sri Lanka would have liked. They'd have liked that to just kick on and start to go upwards from where they began. Been scoring at just about 5 and over throughout.
Give it time, Pommy. Give it time.
Yes, 13 overs.
Well, now a mid-wicket and a long on. So the 2 fielders in the deep on the onside.
Yes, and oh, now he's put it down. He's put it down, AB de Villiers. And overthrows to boot. Oh dear, oh dear.
Too easy. Gain wants to go offside. This time gets some bat on it. Far too easy for AB de Villiers. Then looks for the run out as he sees Kulasekara heading off to the dressing room. So clumsy work all round.
Oh, catches the call. Graham Smith after it. It takes the catch. Really good work by Graham Smith. Had to run pretty quickly. It was up in the air for a long time. An errant pull. And it's Chandimal. The wicket that South Africa would have been after.
Got big on him. He went across too. Cramp for room, Chandimal. Graham Smith never easy running at that angle. He had to run back. Ran a good 10-15 meters. Well, he did well, but disappoints. Chandimal 36. Sri Lanka 5 down for 192.
In the air and over the top. Couple of bounces and won't quite get to the fence.
But better option. Ball bouncing on offside. Go offside. Not the right time for Sri Lanka. Chandimal going across the pitch as well. They're not comfortable to run backwards. Smith does well to keep his eye on it while doing so. They built enough pressure together. Steyn and Morkel not giving many singles, no boundary balls.
Yeah, good pressure built and all that, but I just think that the approach by Sri Lanka in that little period, this power play, yes, is important to try and keep things going, but if you can't quite get it away, it's not a train smash. There are 10 overs to bat after the power play. And for Sri Lanka, it was important that only one of the batsmen who are out there are tasked with the job of trying to take it to South Africa. If it doesn't quite work, then you can just try and keep it going and make sure you get to that competitive total you're talking about. It's nicely played, that. Just helped on its way, and it takes a good effort from Dale Steyn to make sure it doesn't get over the boundary. And a good throw as well. Fantastic work. Going upstairs just to make sure.
What an unbelievable arm. It's a long way down there, and Kulasekara had already started running when Steyn stood up and picked up that ball. Makes it home easy in the end. Yeah, but the singles were not coming. And that's where the Sri Lankans did struggle. And also as a batsman, it gives you greater rhythm when you're hitting the gaps for the singles. The twos come, makes it so much easier to find the gaps for the boundaries. A couple of threes have eased the pressure on Sri Lanka in this over.
Off the bottom of the bat. Good direction from Morkel. 7 off that over and the wicket. 199 for 5. Not a good looking scorecard if you're Sri Lanka, because there's still 11 overs to bat and some starts and then new batsmen to try and finish the job. Not ideal.
They're not gone perfectly to plan, but yet again, as the 200 comes up, they still have 65 balls. A runner ball gives you 265 for me. That should be the target. So more often, if you do it smartly, the pressure will go on to the bowlers, and you end up hitting 280. You've got to be smart. You can't smash every ball out of the park. The second 100 a little slower than the first 100, and that's due to the fall of wickets in the last few overs.
That's well played. With the pace of Dale Steyn, nearly always, if it's misdirected and glanced down leg side, it'll go for 4. He's not happy with himself, Steyn.
Yeah, he's allowed one mistake. The last few overs have been so good, but I like what I see of Angelo Matthews. Just the 3 balls, but he stayed calm. He's maintaining shape. He's using the pace well.
Screaming at you, isn't it? That 58, 33, 38, 36. One of those gets 100. Different ball game. Down the ground, good shot. Close. No. But there was a definite chance in the previous over. Robbie Peterson, the bowler.
Nicely flighted by Peterson. Kulasekara trying to go down the ground. And I think it carried, with the feeling that Peterson didn't think it would carry. He thought it maybe dipped on him a little bit, but I think it did carry. It went through his hands. Maybe didn't pick it up completely.
Sutsorbi bowling his final over now, 0 for 37. It's not often he goes through an innings without getting a wicket. This was his 9th over. Pretty good lines, aren't they?
Yeah, he's become a very skilled before bowler at this format of the game. This is the shorter version, 20 over.
Down the ground, out. Peterson the catcher.
Very good catch by Elvira Peterson, out on the long on boundary. And as Robin Jackman said, it doesn't often go through an innings without getting a wicket, and it's not going to be on this occasion either. Looking to put the foot down, Angelo Matthews going straight down the ground. Slow ball again. Didn't quite get it. Bat twisted in his hands. Peterson took a very, very good catch running in. Eyes on the ball. Made sure it didn't drop out when his elbows hit the ground. Angelo Matthews out for 15, 220 for 6.
Be a couple. 2+1.
Yeah, short ball by Faf du Plessis to start. I was wondering, in terms of his choice of bowling, if it's been influenced by his overrate at the moment and needs to maybe catch up a little bit. But it was a good piece of fielding. Out on the boundary by Alvaro Peterson. Made good yards around there. Pulled it back and Sotsobi finished the work. So I just wonder if maybe he's a bit concerned about his overrate and maybe give the spinners 1 or 2 extra to catch up a bit.
Shouldn't get to that stage. If that's the only reason, shouldn't allow the innings to get to that stage. Could be critical. It's through there again. More work for Peterson.
Another 2 out there. Always a field. And speak to ex-players and present players. Lots of 2s and 3s at this field.
Oh! Lucky. I'll bowl though.
6 off the over so far. No boundary.
Just behind this time, please. All right, there's fine.
Peterson again. Ball just hurried on a little bit in the last 5 or 6 yards. He suddenly found himself having to bend down rather urgently.
Yes, Dupe, boys. Happy Mariana. Mooi klaarmaak, kry ons enetjie Dupe. Kali.
10 from the over, 233 for 6.
Yeah, I'll pass.
Good throw.
And a good recovery by Alvaro Peterson. Knocked that one on down at third man. Remained calm. He's handled it, got it in.
Center, please, Sam. Center. 2 leg.
It's been a pretty good performance with the ball, I think, by South Africa. They've been pretty good. Torby was good. The spinners were pretty good. Hasn't been their best in the field, though. Dropped a few catches. And haven't been able to replicate the urgency they had in Paarl and East London.
It's been a mixture in the field, hasn't it? The catches have been not that difficult. The one by Albie Morkel down at long off, he didn't seem to get himself quickly enough into a more comfortable position to catch it. The return catch to Robbie Peterson. Ground fielding's been outstanding in terms of particularly Faf du Plessis, but even he gave away a couple of extra overthrows when it was totally unnecessary. But 2 good direct hit run-outs from the South Africans, Ingram and du Plessis. He's hit that. He's hit that very cleanly. Beautiful shot.
Yeah, got good length here from Morne Morkel, but angled in at leg stump. And it's enabled Kulasekara to get his left leg out the way. And then a very good, clean hit. Good swing of the bat. And from the time it left the bat, it was only going to end up in one place, and it was deposited over the rope.
Played a very cool innings. Run a ball, 32 off 32. And there was an opportunity to score then.
Yeah, you feel missed out there. Only short ball from Morkel. And even if he wanted to go over backward point with a more aggressive shot or just run it down fine for one. See the fire's lighting up. Time for supper.
Well, that did look good. Peterson.
Yeah, Robin's a funny old game, eh? Morne Morkel 4 for 10 in about 6.5 overs less than a week ago. Last ball of his 8th over, he's gone for 59 already.
Good fielding. Peterson on the boundary. 247 for 6. That will get them to 277 if they can keep that going over the last 3.
Yeah, 10 in it for him. And take him to 276. As Robin said, that'll be competitive, no doubt about that.
So a pretty good series, Kulasekaara. Hit a couple out of the ground and fair share of 4s.
Yeah, he's been useful, particularly as more of a bowler.
See, that's where we're now seeing the numbers of 2s that are being run in and over. We've said all along it's quite difficult to defend on this ground because it's such a big ground. If you've got wickets in hand and you can chip it into the outfield and keep running 2s, that's almost a given 10 and over without having to hit a boundary. Bowl, dot ball. And 19 2s in the innings.
Yeah, that's what we talk about when we say that it's a difficult ground to defend on. It's a big field, so there are lots of open spaces. And it's a quick outfield. And it's a bit like a inverted saucer. The ball tends to run away in the last 10-15 meters. So people who think they can cut it down to 1 on the boundary riders, all of a sudden find they're picking it up right on the boundary rope instead of 5 or 6 meters in.
Just 5 from this over. Steyn looking to defend it. Be happy if he just goes for a single off this last ball. Be even happier if it's a dot ball. Happier still if it's a wicket dot ball. It's going to be 4. Right off the toe end. Got the length right, but just a bit too wide. 256 for 6.
Good start by Morne Morkel, short ball, past Kulasekaara. It's been a frustrating series for Dale Steyn. Hasn't got the wickets he would have expected. When you're having a bad series, this sort of thing happens. Kulasekaara went way outside leg stump, only just reached it with the end of his bat and raced away for 4.
You've bowled at the death often enough in your career, Craig. You know exactly how all of these guys feel when that sort of thing happens.
Yeah, it is. It's difficult. I think sometimes your mental state, your emotional state's as important as your physical state at the end. Got to be a bit philosophical about all these things.
It's a good shot down the ground. Should be cut off. Is, but a couple.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to realise that it's not your day or not your series, and you're going to disappear. Doesn't make him a bad bowler. Just some of it, unfortunately, in this game, there's a fair chunk of luck that decides your success or lack of it.
Bowled in, found the Yorker. Importantly, it's a dot ball.
Very good piece of bowling by Morne Morkel. Full, straight in the block hole. Particularly from that height, you can get better than that. You can't get underneath it to hit it down the ground. You can't get it square of the wicket. Nuwan Kulasekara on his way for 40. 259 for 7.
261 for 7 then, and the final over to be bowled by Dale Steyn, who, as Craig pointed out, has had a indifferent series, just 2 wickets in the series. Obviously stretches the average to 55, but they also gone at just over 5 and over. He'd rather be just below. As Dean Elgar picked and sadly got himself injured. It's cruel, isn't it? This game really is more professional sport. Many people have been selected for something which is a landmark in their career, and before they get the opportunity to perform, an injury lays them low.
Well bowled by Dale Steyn. Malinga looking to give himself some room outside leg stump, and he'll probably do that each and every ball. Steyn will know that, and he'll know that he's got a few inches outside off stump where he can fire it full, and the chances are that Malinga will struggle to even reach it from where he'll be, so he'll be looking to concentrate on that.
Bowled in. Just a swing across the line. I must confess, I was quite surprised Herath didn't come in before Malinga after what I saw in the Test match series.
It was Malinga. Steyn, you hold it across the seam, slowly out, ran his fingers across it. Slightly slower delivery than normal. Malinga outside leg stump. Just 262 for 8 Sri Lanka.
Rangana Herath. Herath, perfectly capable of hitting the ball over the rope, as we saw in the Test series. Not easy when you just first come in, though.
Particularly when Dale Steyn got it nice and full there. This is the previous one to Malinga. Far too early, slow ball, and far too far outside leg stump to make contact, knock the furniture over.
The variations of speeds. Previous ball and the dismissal ball, 2 meters between them in terms of time of arrival. That's well struck, but will only be 1.
Take it off now!
Will it? No, they've come back for a second and made it easily.
You've seen the other reason why you get so many 2s in this field. from out on the boundary. More frustration for Dale Steyn. Just a bit irritated with his work at the moment.
Down to third man, so Tolby the fielder. And that might be quite close. We go upstairs. We just have to wait now to see whether it's 266 the total or 267.
To the naked eye, I think he made it, but I was wrong. De Villiers did well. Wasn't the best throw from Tatobi, wasn't exactly over the top of the stumps, but De Villiers is nimble enough to get back to the stumps. The last ball results in a run out for Sri Lanka.
So 266 is the total, 267 now the target. It will be, it'll take a bit of batting, it'll take some sensible cricket, and it'll take a biggest score from one of the top six.
Welcome back to the start of the second half of this, the third one-day international in the series. There are 5 in total. Of course, it's 2-0 at this stage to South Africa, but Sri Lanka, after winning the toss and electing to bat first, have posted a very good total. Bloemfontein is getting fuller by the minute. 267 runs to win is what South Africa need. Now, I can tell you that no one has chased down that total to win at this venue. So that's going to be quite interesting to see how that goes. I also think that Sri Lanka, if they were totally honest, would say they missed out on around about 15 runs. They should have got the 280 mark. However, some brilliant fielding from Faf du Plessis. Got rid of Kumar Sangakkara at a crucial time. He was run out for 38, but right at the top, Taranga 58, Dilshan, look at these 30s. Dilshan 33, Sangakkara 38, Chandamal 36, a 40 to Nuan Kulaseku, who played very well. The death and a couple other guys getting lots of starts as well. So in the end, it's a pretty good total. And if we look at the economy rate, not too many wickets for the bowlers, a couple of run-outs, of course. The economy rate, Warner Walker expensive, Dale Steyn on the expensive side as well. Solby was brilliant for his 10, Duminy over 5, and Peterson at 4.5 was good as well. So a little bit of a mixed bag from South Africa. However, this is a total which they will feel reasonably confident about chasing down because conditions are good. Kevin Vessels alongside me. Good evening, Chopper.
Good evening, Mike. No, they will feel good about chasing this. They'll back themselves to do that because if you establish partnerships at this ground, it's very difficult to defend on. You can run a lot of twos. The outfield is quick. The pitch is flat. So Alvaro Peterson, he'll be happy to be back in the one-day frame. He's had a fantastic season in all forms of the game. So he's opening today in place of Hashim Amla, and then Graham Smith, of course, who needs a score. Two of them have opened together in Test cricket a lot, but not in one-day internationals, but they know each other pretty well.
Yeah, and I think that'll be a comfort. We know that South Africa will want to get a good start. That's certainly what Sri Lanka did. They were very well placed after 20 overs, 102 on the board for the loss of only 2 wickets. He's a danger man, this guy. Operating with 1 slip and a man catching mid-wicket. Malinga.
Very important from Sri Lanka's point of view that they strike early, that South Africa don't get away and get on top of the run rate straight away within the first 10 overs, because if they can get a couple of early wickets and then the spinners work away at the middle order when the ball gets softer, they can put South Africa under a lot of pressure. But if Smith and Peterson get away well, if they get past that 50 mark within the first 10 overs or so, then South Africa will be tough to beat. He bowled beautifully in both matches so far, Malinga.
You know, it's amazing, Kepler. You said he bowled beautifully in both. What are we, 2 balls in? Every chance he's going to bowl beautifully tonight as well. He's so consistent.
Well, that's where you have to feel for him sometimes, because he produces match-winning performances all the time, but he doesn't always get the backing from the rest of his team.
A partner for him today, Nuwan Kulasekara. He's going to have to do a very good job swinging the ball into right-handers away from Smith, for example. His confidence will be high after a quick-fire 40 with the bat. Needs to dovetail with him.
South Africa quite happy just to see out Malinga and attack at the other end. So if somebody does get it together and they can bowl well in tandem, then the pressure will mount.
A reminder, a couple of new balls, so there will be quite a bit of swing on offer, we think, under lights. Saw a little bit early today when the seam was held upright. I wouldn't be too concerned about the clouds. We had 1 or 2 little spots of rain during the break, the interval, but I don't think it's going to be around at all in the second half. Just to recap, in case you're just joining us, no one has chased down this total to win at Chevrolet Park in Bloemfontein. Only 2 scores, by the way, have been above this total. One was a tie and one was a loss. That's how challenging this is going to be with a couple of new balls.
Graham Smith has always had an interesting technique, but it's been successful for him. But sometimes when he struggles, when he starts to take the bat back, he pushes it away from his body, which is not good, and then the bottom hand turns the blade inwards, which makes it very hard for the bat to come through straight. So then if he plays very late and underneath his eyes, he's okay, but the moment he comes too hard and too early at the ball, that's when the bat doesn't come through straight. So when he's out of form, generally, and that's what happens.
A little bit straighter that time, but that was a very good line from Lasith Malinga first up. None for none. Just over 100 games now for Sri Lanka. Economy rate at just above 4.5 is good. And that's his mode. A bit of in-swing to the right-handers.
Generally, Alvira Peterson won't mind that because he's very strong on the leg side. When he plays well, that's one of his favourite areas. Sometimes he is a little bit prone to the LBW decision early on in his innings if he's not that confident when he falls over, but generally the way he's been playing this season, he's been very strong through the leg side. So that is a good batting lineup. AB de Villiers coming in at 4, although they are flexible, so you never quite know between AB de Villiers, JP Duminy and Faf du Plessis who will come in where. So that's more runs for Alvira Peterson.
Yeah, there was a bit of pre-match talk, but Faf du Plessis might come in at number 4 today. I'm not sure that's going to be the case now with his big target, although AB de Villiers, as captain, has been saying all along that this is a series that they wanted to look to experiment. I must admit, I think that should be the case when they've won the series, personally.
With you there.
So we've seen 3 balls in this over so far from Nuwan Kulasekara. The first 2 coming into the right-hander. This last one certainly just swings away a fraction. Just a little bit of movement away.
It's a good seam presentation there as well. This is such a good batting surface. There's no movement off the seam whatsoever. Just a fraction through the air, but not a lot either. So Faf du Plessis is batted up, so who knows? I'm sure he won't be coming in at 3. I think Colin Ingram will. So he's probably going to come in at number 4.
So there you go. More flexibility. JP Duminy came in at number 4 in the last game and ended up walking away with the Man of the Match trophy. 66 not out.
It's a good thing in a way because Faf du Plessis also needs a long innings in the middle. He needs to get some confidence for South Africa. He's also had a very good domestic season, but hasn't really got going at international level consistently yet. So if he does get an opportunity up the order and he bats for a long period and gets a big score, it'll be very good for his confidence. Colin Ingram just to the right of Faf du Plessis there. He's batted up as well.
Yeah, I thought he had that wide-eyed look about him. Over 500 runs in the domestic season, average of 45. Only played the one game in the World Cup, so wouldn't be as mentally scarred, I guess, and there's no doubt that some of them were after that loss to New Zealand. It's good stuff from Kulasekara, but 5 off the over, 5 for no loss now. He normally bowls 3 overs the start. I've seen him bowl only 2, though, it must be said. Gee, that's a good shot. Nothing wrong with that delivery at all. That's been pumped through the onside.
Well, that's a shot of a man in form. Talked about it in the previous over. When he's playing well, Alvaro Peterson is strong through the onside. His balance this time was excellent. He kept his head still, played the ball late, and his timing was spot on. It took that pretty much off middle and off stump. It's a different role for Alvaro Peterson in the one-day arena. He played before, but batted in the middle order. So it's the first opportunity, really, that he gets to establish himself at the top of the order in one-day cricket, which is the spot that he's best suited to.
Now, we saw earlier that the slips cordon for South Africa was a little bit different. With Smith in the gully at one stage, Ingram in the slips. Tasara Pereira is on for Mahela J. Wardner, so that means Mahela, being such a brilliant catcher at second slip, is not going to be doing his job there. Matthews is at slip, and Tilicaratne Dawson is at a floating slip at about 4th at the moment.
Nicely bowled. Good solid defensive stroke as well. A bit of a way swing and a good leave.
And I think their line is right there. He's one of those guys who pounds around the off stump. This is what he did in the first game, 5 for 54. Ended up losing the last 6 for 60, did South Africa in that game at the death. But Malinga was brilliant. His 4th 5-wicket haul in one-day internationals. This was right at the end. You're not going to want to chase too many at the death, Kepler, today.
Well, that's how you have to structure your chase, so that you don't need more than 6 and over in the last, say, 10 when you know that he's going to bowl at the death. That was Malinga in pile to the left-hander. It's a bit all over the place. He's unpredictable, so that is what makes him difficult to pick at times. He does change his pace all the time, but that was to the right-handers, and that's more consistent. That was more to the middle and the latter part of the innings.
And 9 for no loss. A little bit of a way swing again from Malinga. Pretty good pace. Rounded up to 143 k's per hour. Morné Morkel bowled a delivery early today of 146.5 k's per hour. That's pretty sharp.
He's got his pace back. Mono and Morkel bowled really well in the first 2 one-day internationals. Not quite as well today, but signs are good as far as his rhythm is concerned.
Just saw Damika Prasad just getting a bit of work from the physiotherapist. Now he's someone who bowled very well in the last game, picking up 3 wickets. He's grabbed an opportunity with the injury to Dilhara Fernando.
Well struck on drive again. So Malinga just not adjusting his line, because for Alvaro Peterson he's now adopting that line, which is about a 5th stump line outside the off stump to the right-hander, but he's needs to be doing the same to Graeme Smith, but he's just a little bit too straight. He's bowling middle and leg.
So let's just have a look at some of the batting that Graeme Smith has done against seam this series. It's quite remarkable. Those yellow ones, the pulsing balls working on the leg side. Just about the ideal line.
It's just more of the same there. Graeme Smith tried to work that on the leg side. A better option would have been to go straight to mid-off.
I guess we shouldn't be surprised about that graphic though, Kepler. We've seen him do it for a long time and he's done it successfully.
He has, and as we keep saying, that's been the way that he's accumulated his runs over the years. One thing that is important though with that technique, he's got to play the ball very late. He's got to play it underneath his eyes. So when he does that, it works out okay. If he gets a bit anxious and plays in front of him and goes at the ball too hard, well, then it's not quite as successful.
Bowled him, straight through him, playing across the line. Malinga has struck, and that is such an important wicket. Graeme Smith departs.
Well, that's the danger. That's what we keep talking about, and we keep saying tonight that his bat is coming so far across the delivery. And here's another example of that. That was full. Massive gap between bat and pad. Now that delivery, you had to look to play straight back up the ground, but Graeme Smith playing all around that, looking to aim through the leg side. So disappointment for him once again. He's gone for 2. South Africa 14 for 1.
Just done, but 10% of the time.
Yeah, quite interesting where Colin Ingram's standing. He's actually standing with his bat way outside off stump, so that might just be against Kulasekara because he moves the ball across the left-hander. So the reason why he might be doing that is anything outside his eye line, he knows he can let go. So from a bowling point of view, you've got to try and drag him across and then maybe look for the straight one for the LB. But that's a good stroke. On the up, through the covers. And this is a very good surface, we keep saying that. And you can only play shots like that on a very good pitch.
Nicely played. Nice and controlled as well. Not looking to force the ball. And one of the keys is making sure it goes in front of square as well, rather than sliding off the bat and going past the gully. It really is interesting the way he is standing, Kepler. Nice and straight this time. Hasn't got all of it. The outfield is quick though, and that's going to run away for another boundary. Good stuff from Ingram.
Back-to-back boundaries for Colin Ingram, so he's got away confidently. This one was slightly over-pitched. This outfield is very quick. Always a good one-day surface, enjoyable batting in one-day cricket at this ground. Get value for shots, value for piercing the field, because not only is the pitch good, but the outfield is very quick as well.
First 2 against Zimbabwe, 5th against Kenya. It's gone over the top. Geez, not messing around, that's for sure.
Oh, that's a terrific strike. Picked that one very early, Colin Ingram. His timing was good as well, over extra cover. So this is perfect for South Africa after losing the wicket of Graeme Smith. He's on to that in a flash.
And importantly, he's been in very good domestic form. That's what has ensured that he's back in the lineup. And I think we've seen enough already to see that he's in terrific nick.
Look out for a slower delivery.
Bowled him. Spotted by Kepler.
You could just tell the slower delivery was coming. Colin Ingram, well, maybe if he was more experienced, he would have been awake to that, but you could just tell at the top of his run-up, after that one went through over extra cover, he was going to come back with a change of pace, which is exactly what he did, and it's a perfect one as well. The slower ball, Yorker beat him all ends up, played too early, so Malinga just too good on the night. Ingram started well, but disappointment for him, gone for 13, 29 for 2.
Big shout from behind. Oh, you know they're quite happy with their work when you get them appealing like this. They're on top, Sri Lanka. Quick single. Overthrows will just be one extra. Oh no, he's going to take another. Great work. Very quick running. Talk about putting pressure on the fielder. Credit there to Faf du Plessis.
Talked about Sri Lanka being on top, and they are, make no bones about it. But you don't want to give the initiative back to South Africa, and that little bit of sloppiness has given them 3 unnecessary runs. And it's got du Plessis off strike. A few changes in the field. Mid-wicket going back. And a square leg coming up into the circle. See, the 3 got du Plessis off strike, and there was an LBW shout off the very first delivery. Umpire Kluti got it spot on, going down leg side. Just a little shuffle down the wicket, but he ended up running 3 a ball later, and Peterson was on strike. Herath wouldn't have wanted that.
You also look at the over, HD, and let's say there was 1 on offer. It was just 1, and then Peterson to look for another single. He got it straight away. But you put them all together, and it's just a couple of singles in the over. And so pressure on the batting side. As it turned out, there were 2 extra runs with the overthrows. And also because of the good alertness from Faf du Plessis. But it releases so much pressure. First power play done. First 10 overs, 41 for 2. Nicely done. Fantastic work that. Across, outside off stump. Little nudge onto the leg side and 4 runs.
Well, I think he's got a bat on it. Perfect leg glance. And I think he's playing awfully risky for the position that South Africa are in. If he misses that, it's pretty close. But he does favour the leg side. And they say play to your strengths.
Shot. What a shot. That is fantastic. He climbed all over that, Faf du Plessis, and he's got 4 for it. 2 in a row.
Well, this is probably all because of the movement that Faf du Plessis does make when he does get across onto off stump and work at leg side. And every now and again, The bowler will feel, is he going to do it again? I need to push the ball wider of off stump. He does, but on this occasion, du Plessis stands still. There's width on offer. And he executes the stroke perfectly through extra cover for 4.
2 for 12 for Lasith Malinga. Led well right up front with the new ball. Kulasekara Nunn for 21, an adequate job under the circumstances. And also Prasad and Herat doing a decent job. It's Sri Lanka who are putting the screws on here on South Africa. Big shout, huge shout, and the finger goes up. It's Tilakaratne Dilshan who brings himself into the attack. And straight away, he wraps Peterson on the pads. A celebration of sorts. But they'll have to wait to see if it's warranted, because Peterson's gone upstairs.
Well, I suggest he hopes he gets away with it, not because he's going to... But it's the mode of dismissal again. Well, it's certainly not a no ball. Well behind the popping crease. I think Peterson might be in a spot of bother.
I'll put it out there, he is. He need not worry. Needs to start walking to the change room. That looks plumb. Didn't make any contact whatsoever. That's all that can save him. Here's Hawkeye, pitching in line, turning just a little bit and smashing into the stumps. Original decision was out. It was spot on by Nigel Long. There you go. Reviews remaining, 0. Peterson gone.
It's the stroke that will be questioned. Peterson has looked untroubled in his brief innings. The reverse sweep comes out. He's adjudged LBW. He's gone for 17. South Africa in trouble. 52 for 3.
That's how we see it now. De Villiers 6, Albie Morkel 7, Robbie Peterson 8, Palstein 9, and then Morkel, Mornay 10. He said Sorby at 11, but it's the next 3 batsmen that have got to do it. With De Villiers, as I say, coming in at 6. It would help a great deal if South Africa, from South Africa's point of view, if they can find a decent partnership between these two.
It's basically got to be set up. Can't leave too much for the likes of Albie Morkel to do. They're doing it right at the moment. They need to take a little bit of time and get used to the pitch. Sri Lanka, they need someone other than the usual culprits to come up with 4-5 tight overs, which will leave Dilshan with his better bowlers for later on.
Take it! Yes!
They wouldn't mind just conceding singles, but quietly sneak in a dot ball or 2. That would be the plan. Keep away from the boundary balls. The bowling power play certainly will be taken at the end of this over, so 15 to 20. An ideal time as well. South Africa can't go hard at the ball. So 5 tight overs there will make a big difference in pushing that run rate up. Almost up to 5.8 now.
Oh!
Of course, should South Africa lose this game, questions will be asked. More about that in a moment. 64 for 3, and I suspect the drinks are coming onto the field.
Yeah, the mindset is to be over and done with the power play overs. Because if you need to, you can bring your field in at any time. But you don't want to be restricted. You want to have all your options. So at the first available moment, you do take that bowling power play. It's never used as an attacking option, hardly.
Prasad into the attack now. Opening spell of 2 overs and now has to come in again. So Dilshan swapping the bowlers around on a regular basis.
Well, on the bowling power play, Jackers, that was a time when Sri Lanka did delay it. But that was when cricket was played in the subcontinent. We still had the 1 ball, so the ball gets much softer. And in the middle overs, on a slower pitch, it could be difficult to hit. And if the ball, there were signs of reverse swing. It was definitely an option, and it was used in that manner. But with the 2 new balls, that's taken out of the equation. He likes to do that, just walk across the stumps and get the bowler to try and hit the stumps, thereby angling at his pads. He seems to be doing that with 2 options in mind. If it's at his legs or at the stumps, he has the presence of mind to get his bat down to it. If the bowler is watching the batsman, he might tend to go wide. Just like that one. So he's prepared for both. So thereby it's tough to restrict him though.
So it brings up the situation of the calling of wides. You know, when a batsman does what Faf du Plessis is doing and jumps outside off stump, he is now within a foot of the guideline that the umpires have got for wide. So if the bowler bowls it a little bit wider still, and he goes outside that guideline, it's often called a wide. It's really not very wide of the batsman because he's moved over there. Good shot. He's hit that very cleanly. That'll test the fielder out. In fact, it'll beat him. 71 for 3. Situation when Sri Lanka were batting at this stage was 77 without loss. South Africa 71. 3 wickets down.
Duminy did well to get his bat down to that.
For you guys.
But it's always easier to set a target than chase a target. You could say you'll get 80 off the last 10 when batting first. It's not always the same when you're chasing.
I couldn't agree more. And that should be 4 more. A little couple of boundaries here for South Africa. Has got this crowd on their feet. But I quite agree with you, Russell. Batting first, if you're in a good position, especially, and Sri Lanka didn't really have that license because they'd lost a few. We just watched this shot again off the pads, and fine leg isn't down there. He's in front of square. On the boundary, that is, and saving 1 otherwise. If you've got those wickets in hand, it's amazing how many you can score in the last 10. But if you're trying to score 7, 8, batting second, it's not so easy.
Because when you know what you need to hit, what target you need to hit, over a long period of time, it's easier setting yourself up and setting the pace, getting the pace right. But then again, at the back of your mind, you know if you don't get it, you're gone. But batting first, it's not the same. can still get 260 or even end at 240 and still have a chance of winning a game. But the Sri Lankan last 10 was disappointing. They just scored the 56 runs. The loss of 4 wickets. There were plenty of batsmen in the heart. Angelo Matthews. Nuwan Kulasekara, I thought he batted well. He changed his game to suit the situation. But the mistake was there was no set batsman. Kulasekara had come in to hit the ball. Chandimal got out. Angelo Matthews was new. That's the difference when building a score. Lots of contributions, 50s, 40s, 30s. But what did they need?
They needed an 80 or a 90 or a 100. And that would have got them closer to 300 than what they've got now. But they're still winning this game. There's exactly what Russell's talking about. 58, 33, 38, 36, etc.
Come on. Yes, yes, yes. Come on, Andy.
78 for 3. Then the 28s, 30s and 39s might see them home, but they need a big partnership. Was very, very aware running. Now what, I don't know why backward point wasn't helping the keeper out a little bit there, going with him. But when Sangakkara just got it wrong as he was trying to pick the ball up, it rolled away from him. There was no one to cover for him.
And he took the pace off too. So the fielder at third man had a long way to come in. But if he'd let it run, it would have been only one because it was going quite briskly to third man. Here a good effort backfires.
Du Plessis picking the fielders out just a little bit, particularly on the offside. So the couple very firmly but straight at fielders.
The 3 fielders in the deep, the third man, the sweeper and the deep square leg.
Oh, misfield. There'll be a couple now. Malinga.
He's been awful. Plenty of knock-ons, taking his time picking up balls, but the batsmen, well aware, have stolen quite a few runs. Straight through.
They tend to be treating him as a bit of a one-run boundary. If they hit it at him, they run. Two for 12 in 4 though. Good shot. It's got past mid-off. He might catch it up, but this is such a quick outfield. He's got down and dragged it over with him.
Not an easy shot to play. Again getting high and punching that through Du Plessis. Kulasekara did well. He pulled it back, but onto his body. But that shot deserved 4 though.
A batsman talking. Was a good stroke. Says a little bit about the pitch too. We've seen 1 or 2 Russell keep a little bit low, but there was an example of a pretty good batting pitch. Nicely played. And that's 4 more. So a good over for South Africa, 12 from it. 90 for 3. Angelo Matthews continues, and Craig Matthews comes into the commentary box, and alongside him is Mike Haseman.
Thanks, Robin. I was saying earlier that the crucial mark is going to be around about 20 overs. Well, it's pretty much spot on at the moment. This has been terrific stuff between Du Plessis and also Duminy. Du Plessis in particular has been in sparkling form. He has played some glorious shots and has timed the ball superbly. think that's a bit optimistic outside leg stump.
Yeah, he's going to need to shape it back into the left-hander to get an RBW decision, Matthews. But as you were saying, Mike, it's a slow ball, pitched well outside leg, probably missing leg as well. It's been a good partnership, particularly under the circumstances where Cullis has been left out. Dumini's not that new anymore. But Faf du Plessis new to the side. Ingram played some great shots before being done by the Malinga slow ball. It'll be a good test. Gary Kirsten will be watching very carefully to see how the youngsters react to the pressure, whether they can get South Africa over the line.
So we can tick a box for one crucial part of this game. We've got to look forward now to the next 20 overs, I suppose, and look to tick that box as well to see if there's going to be wickets in hand and if there's going to be batsmen there at the death. Just a bit of a touch of the gloves, confirming that 50-run stand. Du Plessis now on 49, because we know that Malinga is going to get a couple. There's no doubt he's going to get a couple to the death. He might even get more if there's more pressure. That is his craft.
Come on.
Quick single.
Hey!
Quick between the stumps is Du Plessis. That's a very well played 50.
Appreciated by his teammates and the crowd here in Bloemfontein. Very good innings. The 50 on debut in this format of the game. Looks to be in fine touch at the moment.
Yeah, it can't be all that easy for Francois Du Plessis at the moment. He hasn't had that many knocks in the middle. Suddenly asked to go in at that number 4 slot. So far, so good. Just edging ahead Sri Lanka. At this stage, there was 16 runs off 1 over from chiefly Sangakkara. Just to show how this has ebbed and flowed, let's have a look at the worms. There we go. Just ducking around a little bit. The green one and the yellow one just has raised. 3 wickets lost at the end. Cost them probably 15 runs. That's a nice shot. Through extra cover. That's always pleasing for a batsman. It's going to go for 4 as well. What a fine strike that is.
It's as good as cover drive as Johan Kluti signals on the boundary. Beautiful piece of timing by JP Dumini, elegant batsman. He's in form, plays shots like this. Didn't seem to overhit it, didn't hit it that hard, but just beautiful timing. Once it got sort of 3/4 of the way to the boundary, just rolled away down the hill.
Straight to the fielder this time. Direct hit will find him very, very tight indeed. It is going upstairs this time. The Sri Lankans are half celebrating. That's the best description. I think JP thinks he's okay, but we know direct hits are always worth a few looks.
Good piece of fielding by Kulasekaara because he got in quickly, and if Dumini hasn't made it, it's because he's timed the ball so well. So it's got to Kulasekaara so quickly, it's going to be tight. I think he's probably just in.
Well, we're going to have to look at another angle, I think. Bit of a missing frame there. Let's have a look. Bat's got to be behind the line, remember. Let's see if we can get an indication here with the bails out of the grooves. Pretty tight to call that one. It really is brilliant stuff from Kulasekaara.
As I said, he timed it so well. It got to Kulasekaara so quickly. Wouldn't like to be the third umpire making this call.
I think it's in. I don't think there's too many dramas here. Actually, I think that's going to be given in.
That particular angle doesn't look good for Dumini, though.
Yeah, I think it's the side-on angles that are going to give us the best idea. Looks to me as though he's just behind the line when there is connection there. Let's have a look and see what the third umpire says. It is Billy Doctrove who's pressing the buttons. Oh, he's given it out. Wow, that is, to me, quite astounding. It looked to me as though he was home, or certainly it wasn't conclusive enough, and the benefit should have gone to the batsman. That's what I think about that. I'm not surprised that JP Duminy is a little bit bemused. He would have got some sort of signal from the change room. Let's have a closer look again.
He timed it very well, so it got to Kulasekaara quickly, picked up, let go quickly from this angle. It looks like it's sort of too close to call from the side angle, but from behind the stumps I had a feeling that he looked like he might be short. JP Duminy can't believe it.
Well, he's just had a bit of a discussion actually with the umpires in the middle. Obviously got the signal from the change room. Billy Doctrove's given that out. Gary Kirsten can't believe it. They're all on their feet scratching their heads. AB de Villiers, I presume, is going to be coming in next. Shake of a head from the captain as well, and he's dragging his bat as he departs. He also can't believe it. Gone for 25. I don't think that call was right. 113 for 4. Suddenly it's all a bit more animated out in the middle from the Sri Lankan perspective. What a huge situation this is, Craig, now for the boys in blue.
Yeah, big opportunity, yeah. Staring down the barrel, 2-0 down. Got a chance of getting it back to 2-1, and then who knows? Kimberley on Friday night, and then the final one day in Johannesburg on Sunday. They got an opportunity to get themselves back in the series, yeah.
Sweeper on the offside. AB is going to look to come back for the second. He is also quick.
Yeah, you got to be on your toes if you're in the field. Yeah, previous partnership between Duminy and Faf du Plessis, and now this partnership between de Villiers and du Plessis. The running's going to be quick. They're going to be sharp. They're going to be looking for every opportunity to get a single, turn ones into twos and twos to threes. They'll be on top of their game, the Sri Lankans.
I guess they should know each other, these two. Play for the same province, came from the same school. Should have a pretty good understanding out in the middle. Might sound like famous last words as well, Craig. The old commentator's curse. Let's hope from South Africa's perspective that's not the case.
The team certainly needs a sizable partnership from these two.
Gee, that's a good shot. That is a beautiful stroke.
That is a top shot. Looked like a slow ball from Angela Matthews. Faf du Plessis just waited for it. It's never easy to do. Yeah, the little off break. Just waited, made sure his timing was good. And he didn't move from his crease. As soon as it beat the fielder at extra cover, he realised that that was going to go for 4. Very fine shot.
Well, there's only one way, really, I guess, that South Africa are going to get up and win this game, and that's if one of these two guys get themselves a big one. There's absolutely no doubt that Sri Lanka are at fault through a few guys getting 30s, one getting a 40, one getting a 50, and no one kicking on and getting a big individual score.
Absolutely. You can't, as you say, you can't see South Africa getting home without an 80 or a 90 or at least or 100 in amongst these two, really, at the end of the day, and then other guys playing around them.
$129 for 4. Prasad into the attack.
As I said, he's been a bit expensive, but he starts well, yeah. Outside off stump, a little bit of way movement. De Villiers driving expensively. That's the last thing South Africa can afford right now. There's another wicket. Keep playing some smart cricket, turning the strike over, getting their 5, 4, 5 and over.
That Duminy adjudication, by the way, ended a partnership of 61 off 68 deliveries. Gee, that's a great shot. That is spectacular.
Starting to turn into a very special innings by Faf du Plessis. Shimmy down the wicket, and then picked up on the onside over mid wicket. There's always going to be 4. They've probably worked out that he needs to be the aggressor. De Villiers will play the anchor role and try and stay there till the end.
Classy performance on 69. Ticks over to 70 now.
You're not going to get a better opportunity to get a big 100 here and win a game for your side than Faf du Plessis got. He's worked hard to get into that position. Played an Australian one-day series, and then went back to domestic cricket and scored heavily in Super Sport Series cricket, and he's continuing that form in the international arena now.
So 127 from 134 balls. The danger of Malinga at the death. 6 wickets in hand. And a couple of very crisp strikers of the ball in the middle for South Africa. On a surface which has got to be pleasing to bat on.
Like a lot of the commentators have said, it's a difficult, very difficult ground to defend scores on. There always seems to be lots of 2s around. Wicket skids on in the evening under lights. Very little sideways movement. So if you start getting behind the game as the fielding side, very, very tough to haul yourself back into the game.
Quick call from the non-striker to round off a very big over again. 9 runs coming from it. 143 for 4 now.
They're very quick between wickets, these two. They know each other pretty well as well. Played a lot of cricket together.
Well, that run out has thrown the cat amongst the pigeons. South Africa were getting themselves into a strongest position. And now they just won away from the all-rounders, Morkel and Peterson, and the bowlers.
Required run rate still under control, just 5.7, so that's not a problem, particularly on a ground like this where there's lots of 1s, lots of 2s available, and a quick outfield as well. So from South Africa's point of view, the idea would be for these two to try and get it as close to that winning total as possible, and then they've got Albie Morkel to come in and Robin Peterson, who can both strike pretty well.
Well run. Nice situation, I think, for Faf du Plessis to find himself in as far as an international cricket is concerned. With no Jacques Kallis there, it is an opportunity for a guy trying to forge his way into the side to play an innings of substance in a pressurised situation, in a game that still counts. South Africa aren't 3-0 ahead with 2 dead rubbers.
He was promoted in the order tonight, and he certainly grasped the opportunity. He's been assured from the word go. And he needs a big score just for his own sake, to establish himself at international cricket and also to establish himself in the team.
Come on, Angie.
Should be safe. He's just battling a bit, Faf du Plessis. They're going to have a look, but I think he got there.
Normally very, very quick between the wickets, Faf du Plessis. And there's a little bit of cramp that set in, and he's in a spot of bother here. A second run out looks as though South Africa are going to lose another wicket.
Well, what a pity that'll be. Initial thought was he was in, but he's not. He's short. He is quick between wickets, but he's been struggling with cramp and also perhaps a slight hamstring injury. that is definitely out.
So this should not take as long as the previous one, the Dumini dismissal. Umpire Doctrove will make his decision, and it will rule in favour of the Sri Lankans. Faf du Plessis has been run out, and even though Brandon Jackson, the physiotherapist, is on the field attending to his cramp, he's going to have to help him off the ground.
Oh, that's 29 overs gone. So South Africa with this run out in a bit of bother now. So good fielding, quick release, very accurate throw, and good keeping as well. So Faf du Plessis just short of his ground. Well, seems to be a bit of confusion. On the scoreboard, it said it was out. Now the umpires are deliberating again. Third umpire seems to be saying that he hasn't made his decision yet, but it does look just short of his ground.
Two contentious run-outs in the space of about 40 minutes, and they could be match-altering.
So confirmation finally. Shouldn't have taken that long, but it did, and the end result for South Africa not good. Faf du Plessis is out. He played pretty well.
Another tight run, especially with a man nursing what appears to be a slight hamstring injury or a great deal of cramp. But he's gone anyway. Faf du Plessis has been run out for a very well played 72. South Africa 147 for 5. It's beautifully struck. Wonderful stroke from de Villiers.
Excellent stroke. Too much width offered. Maybe de Villiers very strong. Square of the wicket through the offside, and his timing was spot on.
So often batsmen get a long hop. They just hit it straight to the sweeper on the offside and they trot through for a single. De Villiers has the presence of mind and the time to hit it just past extra cover's left hand and get a boundary.
Very important as well as to how these two pace the South African innings, with the knowledge that Malinga's still got 6 overs to come. So they've got to plan it pretty well. They don't want to leave themselves with too much to do right towards the back end of the innings when Malinga is so effective.
Well, I suppose if there is an encouraging thing about the South African innings is that they've never let the required run rate get too out of hand. They're still at below 6 and over, so there's really no need for them to panic as such or take any quick singles. They just need to find the sweepers. The odd boundaries will come. There are plenty of bad balls still around on offer, but they need a significant partnership that gets them close.
Beautifully played again.
Well, this is as good a shot as you're going to see all evening. It's not a half volley. There's very little width. In fact, it's quite straight. And de Villiers just gives himself a little bit of room. A shuffle of the right foot onto leg stump, the clearing of the left leg. He just opens the face of the bat and caresses it between mid-off and extra cover. That is just a wonderful cricket stroke.
Well, that's excellent batting again. Maybe de Villiers improvising, taking that from outside the off stump and working that beautifully through the onside.
Many might have been surprised that AB de Villiers walked to the wicket at number 6, but South Africa are experimenting with their batting order. And now they'll be thankful that they have a man of this stature walking in now. In complete control. It's cross onto off stump, uses the pace that's given to him and just helps it on its way.
Change of ends for Malinga as well. The first spell all from a Logan end. got it together there. He bowled beautifully, changed his pace well, bowled a couple of good Yorkers, good slow deliveries.
So as ik weg ben. Ja, daar is 2 off. Hij is weg ben.
David de Villiers asking for off stump.
All the dives are coming in now. A third run out. It'd be a disaster for the South African batting lineup. It was a super delivery from Malinga. Another Yorker that was spot on. De Villiers dug it out. Morkel was quick through for the single.
I like the way David de Villiers is standing outside of his crease. That is to try and upset the length of Malinga. The one thing that I don't get is why he's standing on off stump. When the ball is reverse swinging, which it might do, it's better to stand on leg stump, show the bowler the stumps and players where it's coming from, because the danger of standing on off stump is if it nips back in, is going to play across it and the LBW comes into play. But I like the bit where he's standing outside of his crease. I think that's good. Rain's becoming more of a threat now. The rain is getting a bit harder. Apparently there's could be a little bit of it on the way. So the Duckworth-Lewis now becoming an issue.
The teams will still have an hour where no overs will be lost. Once that hour is up, then overs will begin to be taken off. But at this moment in time, South Africa need just 1 run from 3 balls to be ahead of the Duckworth-Lewis.
Wide called.
Well, there was another run-out opportunity, which would have been tight. Umpire Billy Doctorow is being kept well awake here. His batsmen are taking chance after chance.
It's pretty difficult from a batting point of view when it starts drizzling, because you can't control the weather, so you've still got to try and just put that out of your mind to an extent and just treat the ball on its merits and get on with it that way. Should be just a single. Situation changes if big rain is imminent. Then you've got to try and make sure you keep abreast of the Duckworth-Lewis.
You probably want to be just slightly ahead, wouldn't you? Because if a wicket goes down, it can jump quite significantly, especially with 5 wickets already down. But the rain is certainly getting harder. The umpires will try and keep them out there for as long as possible, but it can certainly make bowling a little bit tougher when that ball gets a little bit wet.
Nicely played, down to fine leg. So South Africa 3 runs ahead of where they need to be. So they'd like to keep it that way. Get a bit further ahead if possible, just in case they do lose another wicket. Good running again. It's 34 overs gone, 179 for 5. Well, the umpire's just having a chat about the rain, but they decided not to go off, so that is a good sign. It's time for a change in the commentary box. We're going to have another look now. There was some thunder and lightning as well, but we're going to leave it up to Pamwe and Bangwa and Russell Arnold to tell you what happens.
Thanks, Kepler. Ground staff ready at the covers. Oh, there it is. They're on their way off. You get a pretty good indication normally from the ground staff, and they were ready and waiting to get the covers on there. They have to work pretty quickly as well, because it's coming down a little bit heavier, and they wouldn't want the surface to get too much water on it. As it stands, oh, look at that. Yeah, a lot heavier than we thought, certainly. 179 for 5, South Africa. They're just one ahead of where they would need to be. Kepler back in. There you go, Kepler.
Thank you, Pommy. That was a quick change. So sadly, Russell, rain intervenes, but hopefully it won't be too long.
It just as South Africa were getting ahead, Sri Lankans would have been thinking they just need the one more wicket. But if they do come out to play again, Sri Lankans wouldn't like it, because there'll be rain on the outfield, the ball will get wet. And gripping that, the spinners especially will struggle. Even Malinga, because he does quite a bit with that with the ball, runs his fingers over. And it's not going to be to their advantage.
No, it certainly won't, and the ball skid onto the bat as well and skid across the outfield even quicker, and the rain coming down properly now, so that is disappointing for the crowd. The game was shaping up to have a really good finish, both sides in with a good chance of winning it. 88 required and 96 deliveries, but 5 wickets down, so 1 ball for Sri Lanka, and they'd be right in the game, and South Africa know they have to re-establish a partnership.
Yeah, but it's been a good effort from the South African batsmen, because they were under pressure, 3 for 52 at one stage. They've gone about their business quite well. Some good shots, but more importantly, though there were 2 run-outs, I thought the way they ran between the wickets was the key. They made lots of extra runs. And du Plessis, first time I'm really seeing him, and was very impressive.
It was an important innings for Faf du Plessis as well. He needed to get a big score, and he did. He was very good. JP Duminy was looking good as well. Unfortunately run out. It was a close call, but generally South Africa batting solidly. They kept up with the run rate, so as we're watching the rain coming down, Malinga again, Russell was quite superb.
He needed to be, and especially earlier on, the 2 wickets he picked up were peach of deliveries, especially the second one. As Colin Ingram was looking to make a statement, and had just hit Lasith Malinga over extra cover. Malinga came back with one of those slower deliveries which really deceived him.
So that's what's happening. 88 runs required for victory. Sri Lanka need 5 wickets off 96 deliveries.
Welcome back, everybody, to Chevrolet Park. The rain, well, a few spots around, but the news is that this 3rd Sunfoil One-Day International has been abandoned, called off, and it did constitute a game, and South Africa win by 4 runs according to the Duckworth and Lewis method, and thereby winning the series as well.
This has been a Fox Sports presentation.